this season has been the the most devastating, even than the previous season. I think only because I was prepared for that one. Mm-hmm. Like when my marriage ended, I was prepared for that because it had been ending for a while. So I was like prepared for that. When this season came, I was not prepared. Like, you want to talk about a curveball?
Yeah.
A curveball. So when I say a curveball, but I'll say even in the practical sense, setting up my utilities. That was a curveball for me only because I had never set up my utilities before. I thought that there was a package deal. I thought I could get electric, gas, water, trash. I thought it was like, yeah, here's your utilities. This is how much it costs. Here's your package. Sure. I had no idea that you have to call 4 separate companies. Then when I got to the trash, it's like you have to pick. It's like, do you want this type of trash company or do you want this type of trash company? I don't really care. I actually just don't want the trash here. So I don't actually care what trash company it is. But the fact that I had no idea all of those things were a thing, right? I didn't expect the curveball when I had to meet up with my ex to drop my kids off and what that felt like.
Even the boys' school being a curveball. Like,
my kids had to change schools. That was a curveball. My everything about my life just wasn't what I expected. You know what I mean? And I think that those curveballs that come, they're more impactful when you're trying to operate on your plan. When you're trying to do things your way. When you're trying to do it out of your own will and out of your own power and out of your own ability. Those are when the curveballs hit hard. Like, did you ever play dodgeball? And a ball come and smack you like right here? Like, the ball is so big at that age, it captures your neck, ear,
and it's rubber,
cheek, jawline, and the temple. It smacks your whole side of your whole face right here. That's how the curveballs were coming at me for the last 6 months. I mean bad, right? Those type of curveballs only come and they are that painful because you are trying to operate out of your plan. When God says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you." I wasn't asking God about his plan in the new season that I was approaching. If I had spent more time preparing for the new instead of focusing on how to get out of the old, if I would have asked him more about, okay, God, I know that you are releasing me out of this old season and you're bringing me into a new season. Equip me for what I need for this new season. Be with me. Let my ear be attentive to your voice. Let me hear you. And so I can get the instruction that I need for this new season so that my heart can be prepared and that I'm not getting a curveball that is tempting my heart to be hardened. I didn't pray those prayers. I was just so thankful to be released out of one season. I knew that season was so rough for me. I could have put all my money that this was going to be the time of I was going to live this most amazing, happy, anxiety free, depression free, suicide. I thought I was not going to have any of those problems. And the week I moved into my new home and started what I thought was my new good season, all hell broke loose.
like
because you don't get to determine when your wilderness season comes. You don't get to determine that. God does. Like, Moses didn't determine when the wilderness was, like when they got to be in the wilderness. He didn't decide that. God decides it. And the wilderness is really the place that it's like this isolated place where you are forced to look at you, and not the you that you hope that you are, but the you for who you really are. And it's just you and God. And that's it. And it is devastating. It's excruciating at times. It's extremely revealing. It's extremely hard. It's beautiful. It's so informative. It's this place that you are fully reconciled back with him. But you have to take advantage of the opportunity, right? You have to really sit in it and be honest with yourself. And be honest with God, because he already knows anyway. He knows, right? You have to be real. And that is not an easy task. I've had to address abandonment issues. I've had to address rejection. I've had to address just me as a parent, as a mother. I've had to address some really difficult things within myself, some really hard things. My lack of dependency on God, how I haven't really depended on him. And I think that wilderness season is the thing that probably taught me the most, is that I am completely and utterly dependent on him. And I think that that's what that season revealed to me the most, and how apart from him, I can't really do anything good. It always comes up short. And I think that, again, that's why I was so strong about the name being In Totality, because I have tried giving God parts of me, or tried to give God seasons of my life instead of my entire life. And this wilderness season taught me that. It has refined me in a way, and it's still refining me. It's the place where you develop perseverance. It's the place where you get to meet him as Jehovah Jireh, as Jehovah Nisi, as Jehovah Shalom. That is the place where I get to meet the one who created me, where he gets to tell me who I am. Not social media, not what I think about myself, not what my friends think about me, not what my partner thinks about me. What does God say about me? Who am I to him? And that's where this place has been. And if you're not prepared for it, it comes in like that dodgeball and it smacks you. And why were the balls rubber? Does anyone know that? Why red and rubber? Does anyone know why they would do that? And then the other balls that they had, the squishy ones, they didn't go far.
Unless you was a softball player.
Unless you were ready to throw your shoulder out. But them red ones, boy, the school districts need to be, I think that was like a sick, twisted, like, teachers was like, yeah,
for sure.
Let me watch them smack the hell out of themselves. It's like, that is insane to me. Y'all could have got better balls.
I can't tell if the rubber was for the grip of the throw or to learn to dodge.
You better.
That's a good. I bet you gonna move.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you see that ball coming. I bet you gonna dodge.
I'll quit before I get hit by that
They
ball.
said it's dodgeball. It ain't, softball. It ain't plush ball. It's dodgeball. You better move.
Or were those balls meant for kickball? Because we used to play with kickball too, and it was the same ball.
They said we ain't buying all them different balls now. Y'all gonna use this ball for kickball. You gonna use this for dodgeball. You gonna use this thing for whatever. That's what you gonna listen. You might have to play basketball with it. The budget is low this year. Okay. They put a string on it. Now it's a tetherball. It's like, all right, y'all. We can't use this ball for everything now. That don't even make no sense. But yeah. Live life like a dodgeball is coming, because at the end of the day, that the enemy is looking to devour you. He's looking and waiting for his opportunity to come in and smack you with that dodgeball. He is looking for a place where you're not paying attention, right? Because that's when I was the person with the ball, I was looking for whoever wasn't paying attention, and that's the person I was smacking with the ball. Even if their back was turned, that was the best people to get. Hit them on the back of the head. They didn't see it coming. They're running about to pick up a ball, then you smack, right? Those were the people that were the ones that were not paying attention to where they were, that didn't have their eye on their opponent, their opposition, their enemy. If you don't have your eye on your enemy, you have no idea where he's going to hit you from. And knowing how to navigate through a new season, you better know who your enemy is. The real enemy, not your homegirl that you're beefing with, not your man that cheated on you, not your mom who you haven't spoke to in, however long, not the ones that did you wrong, not the job that failed, not the marriage that failed, not you. You have to know who your real enemy is when you're navigating in a new season. Because if you aren't prepared for that season, then I know you don't have your eye on your opponent. And he can smack you at any moment. And I'm telling you from experience, because that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't have my eye on the enemy.
And the hits that